Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
Ripple is under siege as 63 central banks collaborate on new payment system market. What's that? 63 central banks the world over collaborating to implement a technology that serves the purpose of what RippleNet and on-demand liquidity is supposed to serve? Oh my gosh, we are in serious trouble here. I mean, setting aside the fact that XRP has more than one use case, setting that aside, no, this is not an XRP killer. So I want to talk about this. The headline, while yes, clearly you today has a flair for the dramatic, it's not actually true. There are not 63 central banks collaborating on this new payment system. Rather, there are 63 central banks that are part of the Bank for International Settlements, which is internationally owned. So that's where the number 63 actually comes from. And then this group is working with some central banks throughout the world, and I'm going to highlight them as the video proceeds here. But it's not the case that central banks, the 63 central banks, including the United States, which is a part of this, the Federal Reserve, it's not the case that all of them are just on board and yes, let's go ahead and do this. It's a part of the Bank for International Settlement that's running a test. They created 2 prototypes. And I want to say before I forget, shout out to Eric Kim on Twitter for tagging me in this article. And there are actually multiple people that were asking me about what I was thinking about this. And I'll just tell you right now before we dig into some of the publicly available information. There's not a ton of information regarding really into the nitty gritty and as far as the nuts and bolts, which is also true of RippleNet, by the way. There's a broad understanding of what it looks like, but you can only go so deep based on the information that's publicly available. So I'm going to go through that, but just want to be clear, this is not something that is any sort of notable threat to even Ripple. There's so many reasons for this, but before we go further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, this project is called Project Dunbar. And here you can see they said at the top of this article, the Bank for International Settlements Innovation Hub, a company owned by 63 central banks representing countries that make up 95% of global gross domestic product, is creating a platform for international payments that would directly compete with Ripple. The announcement made by BIS yesterday for the launch of Project Dunbar comes after additional news, so on and so forth. Okay, well, that sounds super intimidating. Well, it's really not. And there have been so many alleged Ripple killers over the years that I can't keep them all straight. I'm just going to be shoot straight with you. So this one, I think I may have covered in the past. It sounds strikingly similar to one of the alleged XRP and Ripple killers that I've talked about in the past. I just couldn't remember the name, but I'm almost 100% sure that this is a project that I talked about, I don't know how long ago, maybe it was August of last year, I'm not sure. But it's interesting because basically it's being proposed here, it's 2 prototypes, payment systems that were actually created, and they're designed for central banks and commercial banks, and it doesn't mean necessarily that financial institutions the world over would adopt this system. And what Salesforce is going to do the hard work of convincing over 11,000 financial institutions the world over of jumping on board. How will nations the world over agree on governance of such a global monetary system? It's highly unlikely that such a platform would be globally adopted, as it would likely require power to be placed in the hands of a few, while all other participants can do nothing but trust that such power will not be abused. And as I'll show you in just a second here, even the creators of the system, even they aren't anticipating that this is going to be globally adopted. They not really. I'll show you. They think that it may just be adopted in regions, because again, good luck getting the entire world to harmoniously govern a system that moves all of the money around the entire planet. Good luck with that. It's like talking about having your work cut out for you. So here was the press release from March 22nd, so just the other day. You can see the headline: BIS Innovation Hub and central banks of Australia, Malaysia, Singapore, and South Africa develop experimental multi-central bank digital currency platform for international settlements. That's not 63 central banks, is it? No, it's not. That is just literally not true. Sorry, UToday. I like UToday. They're a fine crypto media outlet. I check them pretty regularly. But that is incorrect. They got that one wrong. Anyway, it reads as follows. The Bank for International Settlements Innovation Hub, the Reserve Bank of Australia, Bank Negara Malaysia, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, and the South African Reserve Bank today announced the completion of prototypes for a common platform enabling international settlements using multiple central bank digital currencies. So this is, just to be clear, it's already sounding, if you might have already picked up this on your own, like a walled garden. Does this sound and smell like a walled garden? Even taste like a walled garden? Oh yeah, I think it might be a walled garden. Anyway, led by Innovation Hub Singapore Center, Project Dunbar proved that financial institutions could use central bank digital currencies issued by participating central banks to transact directly with each other on a shared platform. This has the potential to reduce reliance on intermediaries and, correspondingly, the costs and time taken to process cross-border transactions. Yeah, okay, I'm willing to believe that there would be efficiencies picked up if this system works. There'd be efficiencies to be picked up for those that are within the walled garden. But again, did you see this part right here? Let me read this part again. Led by the Innovation Hub Singapore Center, Project Dunbar proved that financial institutions could use central bank digital currencies issued by participating central banks. There's a key word. The participating central banks. You can't force everybody onto your own network. A little walled garden just doesn't really particularly work like that. And take a look at this. This is from XRP community member Wrath of Kahneman. This is a tweet from him on August 20th, 2021, talking about Project Dunbar. So this has been in the news a while. So it just popped up again the other day because of a new press release. They successfully created some prototypes. Okay, that's fine. And I'm not, but also wait, to be clear, I'm not saying that if this is complete and it goes beyond prototype phase, I'm not saying that there won't be any traction. I'm saying that you're never going to have a one-size-fits-all for something. I don't believe it. You're not going to get the people the world over to harmoniously govern something as crucial as this. Now, I'm going to get into more of the specifics on why in just a couple minutes here. But here's a tweet from Wrath of Kahneman. He wrote, "To get out ahead of it a bit for XRP fans. Yes, Singapore is building a cross-border central bank digital currency using Quorum, Project Dunbar. No, it does not make XRP irrelevant in the future. Project Dunbar is not a one-size-fits-all. Consider what the MAS report itself says." And this is from their report, half a year ago or whatever. It reads as follows, and this is from them, acknowledging that this is not going to be for everyone. "Even while the model of the MCBDC on a common platform shows promises, it is unlikely that the world will land on a single common settlement platform. The model may be useful for regions where requirements and payment policies are already similar, and a common application may be more cost-effective. In such a scenario, there will still be fragmentation with multiple regional platforms as well as single jurisdiction, single currency platforms. New connectivity models for linking up of such networks will be further explored as part of projects. So what do you know? They're acknowledging that there will be all sorts of systems the world over that will be adopted, which is already the case today, and they don't interoperate with one another. That's the thing. So having a jurisdictionless cryptocurrency like XRP that's sufficiently liquid the world over can definitely help platforms, separate platforms, interoperate. And that makes sense. It's because right now you understand the way that this all works. Why don't we have friction? Why don't countries in general have trouble domestically sending money around? Just in individual countries. Like why don't we have trouble as about half my audience is United States citizens, right? Why don't we in the United States, generally speaking, have trouble moving around money in this country? Why don't we? Well, typically what you find is that there are payment systems that are adopted globally. Like there's obviously ACH here in America. And so, but there are different, here's the thing, this is where it gets hairy. There are different payment networks for domestic payments in each country the world over. That's pretty much how it's set up. Right? And they don't interoperate with one another. And so what's being proposed here is to have one payment platform replace all of the individual domestic platforms that each individual central bank controls. So you're talking about central banks giving up power. So if you don't have sufficient trust, that ain't happening. You're literally, they'd be giving up the power to control potentially domestic transactions unless there's some sort of magical safeguards in place. But even then, who controls the platform? Is that a hurdle that can even be overcome? Well, right now, frankly, it's very unclear if that hurdle can be overcome. And that's not a small one. That's a gigantic one. And so there was also a YouTube video that was put up by the Bank for International Settlements. And I watched it, and I actually did make some notes, which I don't do with hardly any videos that I make. Unless, well, the legal videos with the SEC versus Ripple case, okay, that, yeah. With many of those videos I do, because I don't want to forget anything, and it's very complex, and I don't have a legal background, so I just want to be careful with that type of stuff. But I did make notes for this video, which is something that I rarely do outside the legal videos, because it's just not necessary, but I didn't want to forget anything. And so I did print something up here. And so look, it's a very important requirement to note that each fiat currency that will operate on this platform, should it come into existence, and again, there's just two prototypes, but should it come into existence, and there's a production version, each fiat currency that operates on the platform must have a central bank digital currency version of it. That's the plan.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.